online. Welcome to another episode of the Big Blue Tent podcast. Come in, get comfortable. All are welcome here. The views from Gups and Aiden are strictly for entertainment purposes and should not be mistaken for facts. 30 seconds until round 1.
Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to the Big Blue Tent podcast, episode number 10. It's Wednesday the 5th of July 2017 and you're listening to Matt Guppy and Aidan Burke of the Big Blue Tent. Hi Aidan.
Hi Matt, how you doing?
Yeah, all good mate, how are you?
I'm alright, it's been a great day, weather's been ace.
Yeah, lovely warm today, brightened up from this morning.
So, everything's been great, work's been fine. Looking forward to catching up with you and all our many listeners. What are we doing today?
Well, I think before we tell people what we're doing, we should say a quick thank you to the Big Blue Tent sponsors. So number 5 RC, Mike Parker, up in the north. We've got CML Distribution, RC Octane, just John Finch in the southwest, Nuclear RC, Alan Painter for Glues and Acetones, and of course DTS Apparel, that's Chris Streams. You can find all of those people on the Big Blue Tent page or on Facebook somewhere. But now we've got that out of the way, mate, let's tell people what's coming up in the show.
Great idea.
I think really what episode 10 is going to be about is a pretty much full-on Opel recap from round 4 at Mendip.
Brilliant. Great weekend.
It was a fantastic weekend. Could not have asked for any more from it, really. I think we are going to be catching up with a few of the races from the weekend tonight. We've got a few people lined up to come on. Hopefully Damien Whittle will be on at some point, Opel Master himself. But we're not too sure on times for everybody yet, so we'll kind of get people in as they're available through the night.
Yes.
But I think before we go too far, there's obviously something that happened at the weekend that people are going to want to talk about, or going to want to know about, and I think we just want to get it done and dusted and move on. No names of anybody that it happened to or anything like that, but at the end of the weekend, at the track, after a awesome weekend, a young lad had his car and transmitter stolen from the track. Just that, we don't know who it was. Nobody actually saw anybody lift anything up other than a couple of boys in the pits, but the end result was a young lad lost his car and transmitter. Now the upside of this, although that's a piss poor thing to happen at the end of a race weekend.
Sickening.
The thing that I took from it is that after that, I left the track, and by the time I got home, I had about 17 missed calls. Lee Bryant was first on the list, so I called him back and he sort of said, that's happened at the track, and that led on to chats with the Opel team and with a few other people, Martin Owen from the track and a few other bits and bobs like that, and everybody got their heads together and we all clubbed in and posted on the Facebook pages and on Opel, and even the BRCA got involved in it, and that young boy has had everything that was taken replaced through just the generosity of the racers around the UK.
There's been a really good response. We heard about it as we were driving home, and it's just really happy now that everything's just being looked after by the community as a whole. You know, you got 17 missed calls, I got 7 messages, and it's all done and dusted. You know.
Yeah, sad thing to happen, but you know what came out of it was, I think we can honestly say that despite anybody's arguments or anybody's disliking of teams or anything like that, we all know that deep down it means absolutely nothing, and it's banter between the guys at the track, and when the shit hits the fan, everybody in the RC community pulls together, and I love that. I think that's awesome.
Was good. Was really good.
But anyway, that is done and dusted. What happened at the weekend? Where were you? You?
I ended up in the stage where I ended up. I was just outside Weston-super-Mare in a caravan park for most of the weekend. That's where I was.
Yeah, that's true. I was there as well for round 4 of the Opel Championships. Like we said at the start, what a weekend it was. What a weekend
awesome.
It was.
Awesome.
I think that was, what there 113 entries over the weekend through 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, short course and stadium trucks.
Yes.
And wow, weather completely played ball. You know, it was dry all weekend. I think at some points maybe a bit too dry.
Yes, and bakey.
Yeah, really bakey. The track was baked by the end of it. I don't think having, 113 cars going around the track every hour helped it at all. Because it certainly doesn't go like that on a normal sort of club day. You would never get that. I mean, if you look at the videos of the finals that I've put on the YouTube channel from a club day meeting, the track still looks like it's just been swept by the end of the finals, and we moan that there's sand that's come up then.
Yeah. So
for us, that is way, way beyond. Unless Opel comes to town, we don't get that amended. We do not get that level of sand and that sort of that lack of grip there. That was incredible on the Sunday. But you learn from the year before. I stuck with darts all weekend. For me, they did the trick. I don't think Damo's going to be agreeing with me on that. If you look at leg 3 of the finals, when he came off the rostrum, he was much more pleased with the set of ballistic whites on the back of his weird Lozzie thing that he drives.
Yeah, well, I think it was definitely your thoughts as well at that point, that we've been on darts all weekend. So to just make a change, you did clearly say, well, ballistic whites might be a good tyre at the moment, but I think everyone just sat there and went, well, I know what it's going to do on darts.
Yep.
I don't know what it's going to do on ballistic whites.
Yeah, and for me, I was risking nothing. I didn't want to risk anything at all, and it was like, no, I know if I leave my car like that, I know exactly what it's going to do. And that was it. Just do that. Yeah.
From someone who only goes to Endit once a year, a good layout, a very tricky layout.
God, that was tricky.
I've heard it being
great,
mentioned.
but God, yeah, that was hard work.
Yeah, it's like, do you have like a board in Mendip that says any 180 must be off camber?
Yeah.
We had, coming down off the back section to the right, literally just dropping off a cliff.
Yeah, that's ace. That little lip is ace.
And then doing a 90-degree turn as you landed. We're just like, okay. It's quite tight, so I need a lot of steering, but at certain points, I want no steering. And then I want all the steering to come back immediately to actually get round the corner.
Yeah.
So, great. Go and watch the videos if you haven't already seen them. Definitely,
God,
this entire podcast will make more sense if you've seen any of the final videos to see the great track that was there.
Yeah. It will, yeah. That would be, the videos are up there. They're on I did a bit of a race report on the web page, so they're all listed on there. They're on the Big Blue Tent YouTube channel. Go and have a look, and you'll be able to see exactly what the track was like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was really tricky, even for us, mate. Even for the guys that race there week in and week out. We don't race that layout, and we haven't raced a tree stump for a while, and that caught me out a few times over the weekend. The line into that is so... To get that, you can lose a second by going 2 inches to the right, and you just drop into the sand, and you know, I caught so many people up through that section.
It wasn't a section I did well. I didn't make any mistakes on it, but I just drove it really slowly.
Yeah, and that is a lot of the time the key to getting around it is just to back off a bit and make sure you roll through it rather than bouncing about too quickly, and you do kind of get around it all right. But yeah, it's a tricky one. It is a tricky one, but you know, what would Opel Mendip be without the tree stump in it?
Well, yeah, everybody needs a slightly blind wall of death.
Yeah,
with a 90-degree turn at the bottom of it.
Yes.
You know, clearly that's what everyone needs.
Well, I mean, you're coming from a track that is like a dining room table.
Yes.
With maybe a couple of...
A napkin left out.
Yeah, a napkin. Maybe
flat.
a napkin folded in half somewhere.
yeah.
That's you.
but we I think what happened was the first couple of rounds, speaking to, I'm going to say my lot, the northern lot who came down, we were just looking at each other going, what do you want us to do with this? If you go too fast over there, you just rolled it. Yeah. If you went over too fast over there, so we just had to take it bit by bit, try and get clean runs. But, everyone, on a Sunday, there was only positive things for the track. We had a great weekend. Everyone's enjoyed themselves. The track was really good. Everyone loves a good jump in the middle.
Yeah, that was great. We never run that jump like that anymore because we got there's the weird sort of lump that comes off what was the old tabletop there. You can run it, but to run it means you cut quite a big section of track out. So the fact they got that amount of track out of it with that big section cut out, I think is a testament to the guys that laid the track there. That was if you know the track, that was a very, very good layout for Mendip.
Yeah, it flowed really well. It really did flow really well. And I don't even know how clear it comes across in the videos, but a point, the racing line, when you come back off the big cliff to the right and then go round the 180 then to sort of approach to do another 180 to get onto the straight, the racing line is on like a hill.
Yeah.
It's a very easy racing line because if you're 2 inches one way, you fall down one side of the hill. If you take 2 inches the other way, you fall down the other side of the hill. And then you just get somewhere near the corner and you just smash full power on.
Yeah.
And then just try and wiggle your stick a bit. Just to get you out and round that corner.
Yeah.
Because, nice long straight, big bank corner. Just brilliant.
Yeah.
You could really enjoy that second and a half before you had to basically go back to work full time to figure out what the hell was going on.
Yeah, that's it. There's a lot of bits of that track you can make up a massive amount of time if you know where. Like the back section at Southport. If you know where to hit that back section, you can make up a massive amount of time. Huge amount of time on people.
I believe so.
Yeah. Yeah. But Mendip is I think, rather than just having that back section, it's got quite a few bits like that if you know where to hit them, you're going to save yourself a second. And literally a second on a lap.
But I thought the track was really good, held up really well. We started Friday we got there, our travel was all right down there, no problems. When we got there, you were blowing the track off with a leaf blower.
Yeah, big petrol leaf blower. Me and Mark Christopher of the Dremel team. Yeah. Well, we got there. I got there ridiculously early, and the guys had been there most of the week, and they'd done basically everything. There was they'd weeded it, they pulled all the bits out from everything. It looked great, it really did. And I just thought, you know what, if I can give them a hand whilst I'm here and no one else is here, sod it, let's do something rather than just standing around looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
So me and Mark, we got the leaf blowers and just cleaned the whole track for them. So when the guys turned up, all they really had to do was sort of lay the track out, give it a blast off, and it was pretty much good to go. Other than the usual finishing touches of, and all the banners went up after we left, didn't they?
Yeah, I think we got some pictures about. Just trying to think. We got some pictures maybe about 7-8 o'clock.
Yeah.
The track had been put down.
Yeah. I remember that coming through.
And then Mark Hancock, Rob Hancock, Chris Busby, the Mendip guys we were having tea with at the time. And yourself were immediately, wow, we've not run that layout before.
Mm.
We've not run that layout before. That looks exciting. And in some ways, I think as soon as Tommy saw a picture of the track...
Yeah, that was it. He was not sleeping or doing it. I'm not sure he did anything other than just vibrate constantly with excitement from that point on.
He went to bed literally 10 minutes after that photo came through.
Yeah.
He was like a 4-year-old at Christmas. So if I go to bed now, Christmas will come sooner.
Yeah.
We all stayed up. We had a very quiet night, as the BBT nights out tend to be. A few beers, steaks, chips, beers. Watch a bit of telly, watch a film or something. A few beers, having back in the caravan. I hope it was caravan this time.
Mm-hmm.
And we were all in bed by 11, half 11. But Tommy was in bed by about 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
We didn't realise he was going to bed that early, but we were all super excited. And then to get up the next morning and the weather to look great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had a little bit of... I think we had a little bit of rain overnight, but I think it was just so warm that by the time we got there, the track was basically dry. And I think by the time we had the first practice heats going round at, 9:30?
Yeah.
Everyone was on yellows anyway, the yellows being the dry tyre. That's what I ran from the beginning of practice on Saturday morning, and I didn't change from that to anything else. It was
No, same as you. Yellow darts. I did put yellow cuts, staggers on the front.
Yeah, it's better with the slightly longer Astro, with the pile that's there and the sand that's there. They just give... I think that they just give it a bit more accuracy. You can trust them a bit more than a normal rib.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. For me, anyway. I know some people run the normal ones there, but I always found it just weirdly made the back end of the car do strange things. And it was Ash Fenson. He said ages and ages ago, you ought to try the cuts rather than the ribs on there. I think it was the Southport Indoors. And I tried them then, and it was just like, that is much, much better. And I think they just, they didn't work on the B5M.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't work at all. They were awful. It was just too much on the front of a B5M. But on the B6, magic. Stick with cuts if you're on dry Astro with the B6.
So my tyres didn't change at all throughout the day. I think you watched one of my practices on my first round. I think it was one of my practices, and you said my car was just skipping a bit as it was coming out.
Yeah.
You went through a whole list of things that we could do to help that, and the one I was happy to do was to move my shocks in a bit at the bottom.
Yeah.
That's quite straightforward. I'll do that, and it was better. It was a lot better.
Good. Do you know how many people are now going to comment on the post that goes up with this and go, "Oh, that's not the right thing to do"?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's what I'm going to get. That's what I'm going to get. Well, if it worked for you, mate, that's great.
It worked for me. I think so. That was good. My first round, we were in the same heat.
We were in the same
heat
heat.
3. You, me, and Garner.
Yeah, I was car number 9. I didn't have to change numbers all weekend, which was great.
I don't know. I was 5. And it was very clear from early doors that you were lightning quick. Lightning quick. I think I made a couple of mistakes early on, just trying to get used to the thing. But it wasn't long before you were coming past me. And then it wasn't that long again. And to be honest, I'm sitting there going, has he just lapped me? How has he lapped me? And I must have driven for 2 laps. I can't believe it. He just lapped me. And I think it was someone else next to me goes, no, he's just caught you up. And I'm going, oh, yeah, he's just caught me up. That was it. Yeah, I started. Yeah. You then did lap me. Let's get it right. You then did lap me near the end. And I think that's the time you when I had a good run because you didn't lap me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just so first run was great. My second run was my best run. I think it was your best run as well.
Oh yeah, that was a great. That second run was fantastic. I think I had Tom and Simon Osborne, Tom Knowles and Simon Osborne in front of me after that first one, and I know how shaky Simon gets.
Oh right. So
almost as soon as I got close to him, I think he just crashed. I think we went about 4 laps in, and I think by the time I'd hit the 4th lap, I'd got past both of them, and then it was just clean track after that, and that was an awesome run. That was an awesome run. I wish I could have done that run in all of the finals. So that was your 3, wasn't it? Yeah.
And that was my 15, which was my best run. Runs 3 and 4 again, just keep them as, the cleaner me run, the quicker it was.
That's it, and a lot of the time there, especially up on that big bank at the back, I saw so many people just trying to push round that bank and paying the price for it. Even in the A final, I think everybody at some point in the weekend tried to go a little bit too quick up there and didn't expect what was going to happen. I mean, there are bits of that caught me out that hadn't caught me out all weekend, and then God, what was it, the second or the last final? I can't remember which one it was. That I came round the corner off the weird hill, round the corner onto the straight, but the car just went straight forwards and just got caught up in that orange fencing, and that was it. Game over. Nice. Game over at that point.
So Saturday was a good day. Everyone seemed to enjoy themselves. Mm-hmm. People getting. I think the second run was probably everyone's quickest, or was one of the. I think that was my quickest run, and then not many people improved after that.
No, they didn't. No, the sand came up, the heat came up, and it wasn't the same after that point. You only had really Mark Hancock and Gav Croller that got the 15s in after that, and I think it was it round 3 and round 4 they put those 15 laps in, and to get 15 laps on that track was, you had to be going some. I think I got a 14.303 or a 14.302 or something like that was about my, or maybe might have been a 305. That was my quickest of the weekend by 5 or 6 seconds after that. Mm-hmm. I don't know where they were getting the extra pace from, but Mark is amazingly quick, and I know a lot of people sort of said he might not have been that quick outdoors because he was a touring car driver. He did very, very well on the indoor Tour Bay carpet track. Does very well anywhere indoors, really. And I think a few people were like, yeah, but he's going to struggle when it comes to the bumps, and he's absolutely flying.
Yeah, absolutely flying. Really was. I am going to use this moment to remember to say, if we listen back to the last podcast, I think I did back Gav Crawler heavily. I think I also did say, well, it's easy. It must be Gav Crawler because he's the best of the Northern boys who are coming. But even then, he was really good all day. He's a lovely guy.
Yeah.
Comes off with a smile on his face. It was a very emotional time for Gavin at driver's briefing because he actually got to meet another Serpent driver.
Yeah, that's that. Two of them.
There were two Serpent drivers. I was that stunned. I forgot to take a picture.
Yeah.
I think the other guy, is it Graham Cook?
It is.
Graham Cook, there we go. So we chatted to Graham later in the day. But I was like, oh, wow. In fact, I walked away from where you were standing watching driver's briefing and walked because I was thinking, there's something not right over there. There's like a glitch in the matrix. And then what it was two Serpent drivers.
That's it. Like the same black cat walked past you twice.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my word. So Gav Crawler was great. So clearly his Serpents have been brilliant. I did speak to him regarding, well, maybe you can come on the podcast and have a chat and talk about what you changed. He goes, I changed nothing. I didn't change anything. Just turned up and just drove around.
Yep. I didn't change anything other than tyres all weekend. Car was great. Car was absolutely great. I can understand, looking at Gav going round, if you can drive around like that almost as soon as you turn up, and considering there was no practice or anything Friday for anybody that had never raced there before to get some sort of chance of setting their car up for the track or anything like that, to go and do that was impressive. Yep. And he must have been really happy with the car when he put it down. Where does he normally race?
Bury in Southport.
Okay. I mean, Bury's not a million miles away from the sort of feel, I think, on the Astro and the way the track runs. Mm-hmm. Obviously much bigger, completely different place to race. Mm-hmm. But I don't think my setup varies much between Bury and Mendip. Yeah,
they have got a lot of elevation. It probably got the same elevation of Mendip in an area 3 times the size.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are that many changes of elevation in Bury. Great track. We'll be there for the next round of Oopel in about 2 or 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So Gav Crawler did well. So that was it. Then turned up Sunday, nice quiet night, Saturday night. Beers, steaks, chips. Nice time. I think some of the locals, I can't believe this, they actually went to the caravan park, like, social club.
Yeah, well, that's where we were the night before on the Friday, playing bingo and darts and pool, and we weren't playing bingo, we were watching people play bingo, which is maybe even worse than playing bingo itself.
It like turns off all the music, and the loudest thing in the world was the bingo. So, anyone who'd been there that night, I would not have sat there and gone, do you know what, we need to go back there tonight.
Yeah, let's get back there. Well, clearly I didn't go back there. I sat in the caravan pretty much on my own for most of the night doing
rebuild your car?
Rebuilding the car, yeah.
Mike Parker joined us.
He did.
He stayed over on Saturday night. We treated him like a king. Like a king.
We did. Like he deserves to be treated.
Yeah, he never had a pillow, he never had a duvet. He just lied on a couch and went to sleep.
I don't understand why. There was a big pull-out bed under the sofa.
I think he was just generally tired from working and being on holiday for a week.
I can't even be bothered to get on the bed. I'm that tired.
I'm that tired. I'm just going to lie here. And then, of course, Sunday started for us at 5 to 5. Mm-hmm. Now, for everybody else, Oopel on a Sunday practice starts at 9.
Yeah.
An hour of practice, 9 till 10. The caravan park is 5 minutes away by car.
Oh, not even that. No,
you could walk there in
2.5 minutes in the car. The only reason you take a car is because you've got a ton of stuff to carry down there.
Yeah. You can walk out of the gate. It's perfect. So we had to be there for 9 o'clock. All our pit spaces were sorted, no one was going to take your place, our pit mats were all left out, all those things. And Tommy wakes us up at 5 to 5. 4 hours before we need to go.
Now, hang on. he woke you up at 5
Oh,
to
yeah,
5.
yeah. And Borley.
I was in another caravan with Rob Hancock, Mark Hancock, and Chris Busby.
Mm-hmm.
And we were far enough away from you for me to be able to get a beautiful night's sleep. So I probably had another 2 hours sleep on top of that compared to you every day.
Mm-hmm. And was still ready because, you just, a quick shower and got ready.
Yeah.
I spoke to somebody else, Tristan Morgan, I spoke to on Sunday. I went, you look very fresh. What the hell's up with you? And he was turning around going, obviously he was driving home on Sunday. And he went, well, I had a big night on Friday, so I was in bed pretty handy, and I've literally got up 5 minutes ago.
Yeah,
and it
I
was
was
10
there
o'clock.
when you said it, yeah.
Yeah, he just slept through practice. It's not a problem. He runs a short course truck, so practice is immaterial. And he was there, and he goes, I feel great. It's a great life choice for Tristan. And then the finals came. You were in the A, I was in the C. I had to improve. I was overnight. I was 2 in the C. And I thought if I got a good run, I could go to C1, which it did. First final for me, I threw away under no pressure after about 4 laps. Avoided all the early carnage. The second final, I just led from the front, just drove really slowly, and everyone else crashed behind me, I assumed, just never saw anyone, and won that one. And then the next one, I made a bit of a mistake going in round the tree stump, went a bit wide. Trevor Hale, who was 3 or 4. Oh no, he was 2, so he must have been 2. Was just behind me, and I'd left a big enough gap. And Trevor, if you want to go, you go. And he went, and I thought, well, that's fine. I'll just follow Trevor. Okay, just follow Trevor, and then I just threw it away again. But as I was listening, I was.
Oh, I don't know where Aidan's gone there, but he seems to have disappeared off of my headphones for sure. Is that you back?
Hello.
Oh, there you go. Now you're back. What happened there?
Back now. So just for my last final, I was 4. Trevor Hale was 2. Was 1. Chris Busby was 2. Stu Evans was 3. The reason I'm saying that is because if Stu Evans finished 3rd, I won. But if he finished any better than if he finished 2nd or 1st, because he'd taken the first leg, he won.
So you just took him out.
No, I didn't get close enough to take him out. I would have. Right?
I would have been coming down the straight the wrong way.
I never thought of that at the time. I didn't need to think of that time because the race order was Trevor, Chris, Stu. That's fine. I think, and then on the second from last lap, Chris Busby rolled it. Stu Evans drove past him and finished 2nd.
Well, it can happen to the best of people, mate. You were very, very good. I watched that second round, or what I could see of it, because we're trying to sort of partly queue up for the rostrum at that point whilst you're racing there.
I'd like to thank all the BBT members for the effort that we put in to make sure we were all first at the Stairs.
That was ace.
That was ace. Normally I like to take the mick. I like to turn up really early and take the mick of people turning up early.
Yeah.
Which is just me covering the fact that I've turned up early.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you want the good spot. You've got to mark your spot on the rostrum in the first round.
Yeah. So get that done.
That's really important, that.
So they were my finals. A great time. Threw away the thing. I've never won a final at Oupel, so I've never got a small wooden plaque with a sticker on. That was probably my best chance. I did actually take one of the points. Thanks very much for the guys listening to the podcast. But about 4 people came up to me throughout the 2 days and said, have you taken a shim off? Or have you put a shim on? And it just never caught on. And I'm going, what are you talking about? I've just stood my shocks up a bit. Go and have a look at my car. And then someone then turned around and went, well, that's because that's what you said in the podcast. That's all you do. And I'm, oh, right, okay. So I did take a shim off. It was a bit better. It was just general mine. I can't blame. Everything was me. I had a great heat. No one got in. No one got in the way if you're having a good.
Do you know
run.
what? The 4 qualifying heats rounds that we did on Saturday. That was some of the most courteous and, you know, some of the most the best driving I've had with other people on the track, especially. You know, there was quite a range in that heat of fast and slow.
Yeah, and people went fast one round and went slow the next, which is even worse. And we did have a bit of a problem with Smashy McLossy.
Yes, we did have a bit of a problem with Smashy McLossy.
I'm going to say, well, I do know his name, but we'll just call him, you know...
Smashy.
Let's just say anyone who knows in the Broxtowe, Mansfield area, who knows anyone who drives a black and green Lossy 22, please call him Smashy McLossy.
Yeah, Smashy McLossy. There you go.
What you need to do is you need to look for the best looking man, the most handsome man you can see in the pits, right? He'll be the fella sat next to him. And anyone who can figure that one out, that would be great. Thanks very much. I think that's cryptic enough. Well, before we...
well done. That was good, that.
So, great weekend. Everything's fine. We talked about my final. I'm sure what we could do is maybe try and talk about your final with Damo when we get him on, because he was insane. So why don't we just see if we can get somebody on now, because it's for our time, it's spot on 9 o'clock at night now.
It is.
We'll try and get someone on. We've said 9 o'clock to a few people, and we'll just randomly see who we can get on. Is that okay?
Yes, mate. I think that is a great idea. I think me and you have mumbled on more than long enough between each other. Who are we going to get on first then? Who has put themselves up first on the blocks?
Well, first on the blocks, hopefully, will be Craig Harris. He TQ'd and won 4-wheel drive.
Excellent.
In fact, he TQ'd 4-wheel drive after 2 rounds.
I mean, let's face the facts here.
What?
Craig is a fantastic driver anyway.
Oh, he is. He is really good. So I'll press the button to see if we can get him on. At some point, he might get added to a call. I spoke to Craig very briefly at the weekend. As he was...
Is he here? Hello?
Hi, Craig.
Hello.
Hey!
Oh, whoa.
Oh my God, I've got video.
You alright?
Yeah, how are you, mate? How are you?
Yeah, not bad.
Good news.
Wow.
So, hang on a minute. I'm looking in the background of this picture here, and I see 2 4-wheel drives there and a 2-wheel drive. Now, obviously, we've got some questions to be asking you here, because I borrowed your Charisma for the BWOC earlier this year. Now, it's the reason you... yeah, there it is. There she is. Oh, that was a good car. Now, is it still in one piece?
It is now.
Yeah, good. So why weren't you running it at the weekend? What happened?
Sorry, say it again.
Why weren't you running it at the weekend?
I've left Team Charisma.
Oh, okay.
I left them back in March.
Right, blimey, I didn't know that.
Various different reasons. I've decided to go privateer. Work commitments, family commitments. Just couldn't afford to put the time into Charisma that it needed. So
yeah,
decided to go privateer and have fun. Just go racing when I feel like it again.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And I mean, you know, I think once you've got to the level you've got to with the racing, that you can almost afford to do that, because you don't kind of drop that speed. I mean, it doesn't seem to matter where I see you go. You're all, you know, if I see you you turned up to Torbay once out of the blue, and I think you TQ'd that meeting with that 2-wheel drive that you were building at the time, which was the B5M Cross.
Yeah, that was a little project that I was working on with Charisma.
Is that what that is behind you?
No, that
Oh,
Yeah,
one
go on.
is next to.
Ah,
okay. I'm going to point out as well that though I can see you, we're not going to put
no,
this video out.
I've got a picture of him. I've got a picture of him with the cars, so we can put that up.
Yeah. Just want to make sure that Craig knows that we're not going to be broadcasting his pictures live on the internet.
Yeah, so don't panic. So you've got the Thumbs Designs banner in the background. How's that going?
It's good, yeah. The wife takes care of that day to day. Does all the orders, all the ins and outs. And I just work on the weekends on making bits and bobs and trying to design new things.
Okay.
Like what?
Well, mostly Thumbs Designs is based around micro parts. So
Right.
it started when I started racing the LRP Shark.
Yeah.
Towers, and everybody wanted some, so it seemed logical to sell them. And that progressed on then when I joined Charisma, and I had a whole load of development parts. And again, everybody wanted them, so put them on the market.
Yeah.
And Thumbs Designs grew up from there. And there's quite different bits and bobs for different cars, carbon fibre chassis and towers and aluminium bits. I guess the next thing will be some X-ray parts, but you never know.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, so why have you never designed anything for my B6 then, Craig?
Oh, wow, you've never asked.
I didn't think I needed to ask. I thought you could go, well, that obviously needs some help.
There's not many people make parts for the B6, so is there? That's the problem.
No, you've got a few aftermarket. I mean, obviously there's the J Concepts lot do their bit every time Associated brings a car out. Who's the other ones? Is it RDRP? They've done a few brass bits and bobs, the weight sets and things like that. Red Workshop's done a couple of bits, the slipper pads and bits and bobs. But no, nobody's really done anything, I think, overly groundbreaking with it yet. I'm not sure they need to.
I don't think they do, to be honest. I think it's probably the best two-wheel drive out there at the moment.
It's certainly got a lot of pace behind it. I think I can throw that around a lot easier than I've ever been able to throw anything else around a track. Yeah,
I would have bought one, but got a great deal on that XB2 you see behind me. So,
that's fair enough. How are you finding it? Why didn't you run it at the weekend? Was it just that two-wheel drive was full, or?
No, I had my little lad racing short course.
Yes.
So
yeah.
Putting a coat with two cars and him would have been a nightmare.
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
Car and him.
So. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I think the only person I know who runs two classes and brings their kids is Lee Bryant.
It's madness.
Yeah. Good on him, though. Good on him. So, how did you find it the weekend? Obviously, you were pleased with the car with the TQ and the win in the four-wheel drive. How are you liking the X-Ray?
Oh, I love it. I love the car. It's so easy to work on. The setup just never seems to change. I had a bit of a revelation on the weekend, and I changed the pills on the front kick-up, and that was it. Okay.
What made you do that?
I just wanted to ride the bumps a little bit better.
Yeah.
Around the first corner into that bank corner.
Yeah.
I found the car was pitching a little bit on corner entry, so just gave it a bit more kick up.
Okay.
Just so bumps.
Yeah.
But
obviously worked well. I mean that
no changes.
No, I didn't change a thing on the B6 all weekend. I didn't think there was any need because it was just a case of driving it to the condition as the track kind of changed, and I don't think anybody could really predict that too well as the weekend went on, because it just seemed to drop and gain grip in different places throughout the day.
Yeah, every time you went out, you didn't know what you were going to get.
Yeah.
Some of that was down to the darts a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
Every time I went out on a brand new set of darts, the car was like on rails. It did nothing wrong. It even seemed to ride the bumps better, which I couldn't quite understand. But like about 3.5 to 4 minutes into the race, you could feel them start edging away.
Yeah, you can.
And then the second run, you go out and you think the track's changed. It's not really the track's changed, it's just your tyres have gone off.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, did you try anything else other than darts, or were you just on darts all weekend?
I only ran darts on the back.
Yeah.
I tried darts on the front, they were impossible. I tried two-wheel drive mini spikes on the front with the inside and outside row cut off. They were pretty good.
Yeah.
But it did snatch a little bit on the bumps, especially up on the top right-hand corner.
Yeah, but they've got quite a bit of sideball, haven't they?
Yeah. If you hit a bump with any kind of steering or sideways, it would just flick the car.
Yeah.
Sometimes it would land okay, sometimes on its roof, or
Yeah.
it could go anywhere. So I switched to staggers on the front, two-wheel drive staggers.
Okay. Normals or cuts?
Yeah, the cuts.
Okay, yeah. They do work at Mendip really well. They just I don't know what it is, because I thought the normal ribs would have worked better, and taken a bit of the sort of snatchy feel away from it, but the cuts just seem to glide through it at Mendip. I always feel like when I've got them on and it's dry like that, I know I can trust the front end of the car. It's just the back end that I'm worried about with it.
On the four-wheel drive, it was pushing a little, but it just made the car feel even more safe than it was.
Yeah.
I think the two-wheel drive slims were a touch quicker. I was certainly down in the 19.5 second laps with the two-wheel drive mini spikes on.
Wow. Okay.
And I couldn't quite break into the 19s with the staggers.
Right.
20 zeros.
Yeah, I think that's that. You've got to have that edginess to the car, though, to get that sort of speedy lap out of it, haven't you? If it's kind of too safe, you can't pull round a corner like you could if it's on the edge and you are driving it to that point.
Absolutely, it was purely just the corner exits.
Yeah,
where you power down. They just wanted to push out a little bit, because obviously they're not grabbing like a spike does.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I found the same thing with the two-wheel drive coming out onto the straight with a new set of darts on. I'd push out on the front and I'd end up on the outside of the straight as I was coming round that corner. And in the second run, I'd be tight up against, because the front wouldn't be pushing so much. I'd be tight up against the inside of the straight then.
Yeah.
Because I've not quite got that drive out of it. Sorry, Aidan, you were going to say then?
Yeah, no, I was just going to sort of ask more about. You didn't make any changes. How did you feel that the track changed during the day and even for Sunday?
Certainly on the Saturday, there was as is typical with Mendip, there's a lot of sand on the track on the racing line where they blow out to try and clear it off. It always gets on the racing line.
Yeah.
And all through Saturday, the track just gripped up and up and up and up. And then I think towards the end of the day, as it cooled off a bit, the grip just went away a touch, maybe in the last qualify. And Sunday, it just seemed the grip was instant there Sunday.
Yeah.
And it was there right through to the finals when it got really hot.
Yeah.
And then the sand started to come back up again.
Yeah, that was it.
Then the last leg of the A final, the grip I thought was really low. The lowest it had been all weekend.
Yeah, without a doubt.
It was a challenge, the last leg.
Yeah.
More than the rest.
Well, that makes me feel a lot better, me throwing away my final win chance through my awful last leg.
Yeah. There was traction. The traction had gone completely. I watched Mark Hancock in his last leg, and he'd left a set of tyres on. I think he was on his third or fourth run on the rear tyres, and it literally didn't look like the car wanted to go forward.
Yeah.
It just wanted to go sideways everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Mark's got the kind of, I don't know, he can keep that under. Whereas, if I was 3 legs in on a set of darts, I would have been backwards.
Yeah.
But he's got the kind of reactions to keep that in check a little bit. Those 2-wheel drive races that I wish I'd been able to see more of them, but I was kind of the other end of the track. They were battling the opposite end, so even on the videos I did, I'm looking one way and they've gone. And by the time I've got over there, they're coming back up the straight and they're racing the other end of the track again. It was but they had some battles in that.
The last leg was a cracker. I watched that, and it was really good, right down to that last lap pass.
Yeah,
it was excellent.
Yeah.
I think close racing. And how did you find your heat? Was your heat okay? Everyone well behaved?
Yeah, brilliant. I don't remember touching another car all weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It was fantastic. The driving, I thought, was really good from everybody.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know you've done a few of the Opals. Have you done all of the Opals at Mendip?
I think so.
Yeah,
because I mean, maybe it was me, because when the first one came round, that was almost like just a bit of kind of chaos for me. I mean, I was right in the bottom heats kind of thing, but that seemed like chaos. And I think as the years have gone by with this competition and the same people keep coming back, you learn each other's driving much better. Yeah. I can drive with other people around the country that I now know with confidence to know that they're a decent enough driver not to purposefully take you out.
Any series, even with the national series, when I did that for a few years, you learn each other's driving, and you know who to be wary of. You know who to make sure you're not in their way.
Yeah.
When you get to a corner X.
Yeah.
Who you can race with. I mean, the standard of driving was, I thought, was unusually courteous.
Yeah.
Mark in particular, when I was racing against him, he would, in qualifying, he was literally jumping out of my way when I came back behind him when I'd made a mistake. And you don't get anywhere else.
Do you know what? He is one of the nicest lads I think you could meet off the track.
Yeah.
Totally. There's no way I would believe that he would even think about hampering your race. He's the kind of guy that if you were battling with him would be going, "Go on, mate, go on," to kind of cheer you on in a way.
I bet he's not like that on a rugby pitch.
No, I bet he's not.
Playing rugby, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think he's more of a punch first, ask questions later.
Yeah. Bless him. He's a lovely, lovely guy, and Rob as well. Rob's a great laugh. We had a lot of fun with those two over the weekend. They were good. You need to start coming with us into the caravan park with the swimming pool.
Where did you go?
Where the pub is at the end of the road before you turn into Mendip? There's that caravan park next to the pub.
Oh, okay.
We're in there, and it's 2 minutes from the track. They've got a pool, they've got a club, there's the Hungry Horse over the road, and there's so many people that are in there. It's just, it was really, really, really good. And it's what was it? 20, 25 quid a night each, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
It's alright.
You can't moan at that, can you? And you got a shower, you got a kitchen, you got everything you want in there. And for a race weekend, you can't moan at having a little home away from home, can you?
What a shower Saturday night.
Oh god, yeah, it was a long day Saturday.
It was very. Did we finish racing at like 7 o'clock or something?
Yeah. That fourth round really drags it. You don't realise that you think 4 rounds of racing, but we don't really kick it off until pretty much midday, really.
Yeah.
And then 4 rounds of, what was it, 13, 14 heats?
Yeah, 12. No, it was spot on 12.
Oh, 12, was it? 12 heats. That is going to drag out. But it was good. The atmosphere was fantastic all weekend. I don't think I literally couldn't fault the weekend. I couldn't. Great weekend.
I love it every year. I love it. It's a great weekend.
Yeah.
Unless I have to. It's a really enjoyable, fun. I can't fault it.
Yeah.
We just need to make sure we drum up some more competition for you for next year.
I thought it was fun. It was perfect.
Were you
Just
really?
move that sodding tree stump.
Oh no, you can't get rid of the tree stump. Do you know what? Andy Nancollis is turning it now somewhere. Now you've said that. Andy Nancollis has maybe gained 4 more grey hairs because you said that.
I can't do that sweeper into the tree stump. I cannot do it.
Really?
My way past seeing where the outside of the track is without yellow hosing to show me where it is. Literally, the yellow hosing stops, and I don't know where to go. Where's the track on? Don't know.
Yeah, and that stump comes out of nowhere as well. I've seen so many cars go up on top of that and get beached and just be sat there with the wheels spinning.
It's the first bit that gets me, the tree before the tree stump.
Oh yes, the sticky out bit.
In the one leg of qualifying, I actually went all the way up to the top of that tree.
yeah.
Just
I think I saw that.
Ramp.
Yeah,
it must have gone 15 foot in the air and landed on the corner apex, pointing in the right direction on its wheels.
Nice.
Well,
nice.
All skill, of course.
Yeah, well, this is where you need a GoPro on your head, see?
I've got witnesses. Must have happened.
Yeah. Well, I think even for watching some of the finals, it was me and Trevor Hale was marshalling the next point by the tree stump.
Yeah.
And people were still driving into the tree. And he sat there and gone, it's been there all weekend.
Now, honestly, I come round that corner and I can't see it.
Wow.
Unless something big and yellow, I don't know it's there.
Right, okay.
You almost need to see it. I think that's maybe why Andy, when he used to lay a track, and we used to come round that big bank corner, he'd always lay a bit of hose that came across the top of that finger before the tree stump, so you kind of almost had to come back on yourself and then line up for it again.
Yeah, that'd do me.
Yeah. And we kind of went right the way round the big bank, almost back on yourself, over the roller, and then up to the left and back on yourself again round the tree stump. And that is... That's a killer route, that. Because one side you've got a tree, the other side you've got a tree. You know, there's not many places to go.
No. All I ask for is something big and bright to mark the track out with.
So we should bring a tin of yellow paint next time and paint the tree.
Just paint the whole tree yellow.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. We'll pass this straight on to Mark now and anyone else from the Mendick lot.
Do it if you tell him it's for me.
Yeah, he will. Yeah, he will. He'll be fine. I'll tell him it's for me. I'll erase this bit.
Yeah.
And let's start that again. Hang on. So what I think they should do, Craig, is probably paint the tree stump yellow.
What, just for you?
Yeah, just for me. Yeah. I mean, nobody else wants that, but you know.
Yeah, I think it's a terrible idea.
Okay, that's good. That's seamless. That with your editing, that'll be fine. So, are you enjoying your time as a privateer?
Yes, I am. It's much more relaxing racing.
Yeah.
We're not trying to develop parts and feeding back to the powers that be.
Yeah.
Correlating information from other drivers. Not that I'm saying I didn't enjoy that.
Yeah.
I did. But when I was doing that, I had far more time to do it.
Yeah.
Right now, I've got a contract that takes a lot of my time. And RC car racing is on the back seat.
Yeah.
And that's just where it be.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think everybody goes through those stages every now and then, and you know, I've certainly had a break from it in the last 5 years ago. I stopped racing for 18 months and then came back to it and mend it. But you know, it happens, and there's a few people out there that I think are top end drivers that don't necessarily turn up every week, but when they do, you know you've got it's not going to be the same game as it was.
No. It takes a special kind of person to be that dedicated to the sport. The likes of Lee Martin and Neil Cragg and those top guys racing week in, week out, and literally eating, sleeping, breathing RC cars. Yeah, that's a huge amount of dedication.
Well, I could tell you that Lee is at Torch now. Yeah, practicing.
Wow.
He's been there all afternoon.
Craggy was at Bury today, wasn't
he? Yeah, he was actually.
And to still enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah.
When you're putting that amount of effort into it.
Yeah.
It's hard, you know. Hard.
Yeah, but who wouldn't want to race toy cars all the time?
So, I'll just quickly, how's your micros going? So you're still running them?
They go away in the summer. Pretty much everybody.
Okay.
Some of from the national series. We don't really have an awful lot of indoor racing in the summer anyway.
No, you've got
there's Caldecott.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Caldecott's on every Friday night.
But I love 10th. 10th is my first love. 10th it's what I started doing. 35 years ago.
Right. Okay.
And that's what I've always done. So I could never put 10th away ever.
No, I get that.
That makes me happy to hear that.
What got you into it 35 years ago?
My parents.
Okay.
Both of my parents raced before I was born.
Oh, did they? Right.
Yeah. My dad had an accident and he was off his feet for 18 months, and he decided to start building models, and they turned into radio control models. And then they went racing. They were racing offshore IC powerboats.
Right.
My mother won some national titles.
Right. Cool.
Dad was the goodest mum. So and there is a photo in existence of my mother in the chase boat for an offshore powerboat race, and she was 8 months pregnant with me.
Ah, right. So
awesome.
It's in your
going past the pier in Penarth in this chase boat, bouncing up and down.
Oh well, that explains a lot, Craig.
So I'd be born into it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What that also says to me is we need to get your mum on the podcast. Yeah, because we've said this before. It might be interesting to hear from other people who race other things.
Yeah.
Did they feel the same? Is it the same thing? Is it all excitement and prep and how much important thing? But no, that's a great story. That my mum, the offshore powerboat racer.
Yeah, and she got me into racing, and then we used to go racing together. Dad wasn't interested by then. He pretty much realised that he wasn't as good as me or Mum. And we used to go off. We used to do the Radio Race Car series together.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, if you look back in some of the magazines, she was around in the championship. She used to race in our regions when our region was strong.
Yeah.
We used to have 30 odd people at a region. She'd be making A finals.
Wow.
So she wasn't slow.
Wow, that's really cool. That's really cool.
That's the coolest thing I've heard today.
Yeah, without doubt.
Is that when you met? Cause you know, as everyone knows, Eric Everson, but you know Eric. Is that how you met him, through the Radio Race Car series?
Or
was it at Nationals?
It probably would have been Nationals.
Right.
Because I did the Nationals for quite a few years.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously I met him at Southport.
Mm-hmm.
He was heavily involved in Southport when I was in the National Series, and I spent a few weeks up at Southport trying to learn the track before a National, because I went there the one year and qualified in some ridiculously low final, hit just about everything on the track.
Nice.
And then decided I needed to go and learn it.
Yeah.
I spent several weeks on and off over a summer up there.
Yeah.
Wow. You're certainly one of Eric's favourites.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, he does. He was to us when I spoke to him, he was quite excited. Oh well, make sure you say hello to Craig. He was sad that Evo and Tony weren't going, therefore he couldn't go. But you were definitely on his. Not his favourite. You're not Tim Clark or Kevin Hodgkinson, but you're definitely on the top 10, Craig, of Eric's favourite people.
Fantastic. Hello, Eric.
Yeah. You'll listen. Yeah, we all do. well, no, we want to get. Thanks for your time. We want to get some other people onto the show to talk about Mendy. But we'd love to get you back on, and at some point to talk about the stuff that you're doing with your designs.
Yeah, no worries.
And how you're enjoying the change from being, I'm going to say a one-man charisma team to. Well, you're the only person I ever knew ran a charisma in 110.
There was a few of us at one point, but
I know it was bigger in the micros, but we all had LRP sharks up here when we ran them. So thanks very much.
Fantastic, good to talk to you.
Yeah, Craig. We will want to get you back on at some point for a proper chat, because there's obviously lots of things we could have still talked about. But yeah, thanks, man. I really, really appreciate you coming on, buddy. It's been really good.
No worries.
Thanks. Cheers, Craig.
Cheers, both.
Bye, mate. Take care.
Bye.
Well, that was lovely speaking to Craig. No idea his mum was a powerboat racer. That was pretty cool to find out, and really interesting to see how he found the conditions over the weekend, how it changed for him, and the different bits and bobs he tried on the car as well.
Yes.
And I did get a picture of him on his video thing, so I will pop that up. You can find Craig's website, www.thumbsdesigns.com. Go and have a look at that, and I'm sure there'll be some bits on there that will be interesting for everybody to have a look at. So who else have we got, mate? Who else is coming on tonight?
Who else we've got Damien Whittle.
Oh, is he ready?
I think he is.
Oh, go on then, let's get Damien on.
I think he is. Just hold on 1 second.
Okay.
You know the way I like to be fully prepped.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
For all of these things, whereas Damien Whittle is not actually appearing on my list at this moment in time.
Well, that's good prep from
Good
you
plan.
there.
Yeah, I think the last time we spoke to Damien Whittle, we were on our other Skype accounts.
Yes, we were.
Yeah.
We have changed our Skype accounts. If you're on Skype, by the way, just whilst Aidan's sorting his life out there, and you do want to add either me or Aidan, you can search for us. It is GUPZ, GUPZ, BBT, or Aidan, AIDAN, BBT. And if you add us on Skype, you never know, we might give you a call one Wednesday evening and have a chat about toy cars. I'm a bit squeaky at the end then, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
I think I do that when I get excited, and obviously when I said talking about toy cars, that's something I get excited about. I did notice at the weekend, the more excited I got, the more squeaky I got.
On the rostrum?
On the rostrum, yeah. Yeah, I think there's definitely a few bits in those final videos.
Yeah.
that I maybe should have silenced.
Yeah, one of the things I was doing while we waiting for Damien Whittle to sort out the connection is I just want to talk about two of the people who were very good. I mentioned in the last podcast that it would be really handy that we needed to make sure that the heating worked for the showers. And actually, about 5:30, I got two messages. I got one message off Stuart Jones and a message off Tim Simpson, who both sent us a message and went, make sure you check your showers work. So we did that, so that was really nice. Thanks very much. Shows that people listened right to the end and sort that out.
Yeah,
so
appreciate that.
Okay. So what we'll probably do.
No, I'm going to make you suffer. I know what you want me to do.
Yep. But I've got further information.
Oh, okay. Well, I think what I can probably do is go like that and sort this out for you. Because
Good.
hopefully I think we've got Damo in with us.
Yay.
Is he there? Oh, he should be in a minute. Should be in a moment. Oh, is this him?
Hello.
There you go. See, all you needed was me to sort it out for you, mate.
Well, yeah. Apart from I figured it out myself in the end. Yeah.
But what we need to take from this is Aiden did nothing, and it was still okay.
Again, Aiden did nothing again.
Again.
Great.
How you doing, mate? How was the trip home?
How was the trip home? It involved me thinking a lot.
Yes.
About how I was going to sort out various things. So I just sat quietly in the back of Lawson's van.
Oh, yeah, because...
contemplating life.
Yeah,
Steve said he was driving.
Yeah, I had a chauffeur. It was ace.
Nice.
Oh, brilliant.
Aiden gets chauffeured down here as well.
Yeah,
I got chauffeured down there via another model car club as well.
Oh, very nice.
Right.
Where did you stop on the way down?
I stopped at Swindon
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
How'd you get on there?
and did some laps around Swindon with my 22.4.
Okay, and
It was all right. It was good. Yeah, after about 2 laps, I pretty much had the track nailed. Jumps were nice and consistent. I was reasonably surprised. I was pleasantly surprised.
That's brilliant.
Growth. So, got to check these places out while we're down south.
yeah, without a doubt.
I think it was a bit mean you didn't tell us, because we should have made that diversion as well.
You didn't want to make that diversion, Aidan, because we got there at about 1:30, and then we landed at Mendip 4 hours later. And it was only an hour and a half, according to the sat-nav.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. It only took us 4.5 hours to get down from Wigan.
Yeah. Well, just like us, we set off at 9:30. We stopped on the way down. We were there for 1:30, thinking, oh, this is great. We were only there half an hour, thinking 2:00, we'll be there for sort of 4. No problem at all. Well, maybe 3:30, and I think we rolled in at about 4:45, something like that. Well, we were in no rush, really. It's just, and I wasn't driving, so I didn't really care.
No. Did Lawson drive down as well?
Yeah, it's his van. It's his pit bus.
Okay. Yeah,
It's his work van, and in the back he's got all the pit tables set out, ready to go. He lands.
When I came over and annoyed you a few times over the weekend, I did see him crawling in and out the back of that one.
You never annoy me, Guppy. I was fairly annoyed, but you never annoy me.
Well, let's get straight onto that. What annoyed you?
We had a lot going on. We just had a lot going on, as we always do. First I should say thank you to the Mendip crew, because we pretty much arrived and they were laying the track out, and the track looked great. Martin Owen rocked up, and Rob Painter was there, and pretty much made our life pretty easy, I've got to say.
Yeah,
nice.
We made our lives difficult, but that's just the Hoople team all over.
Yeah, I was going to say it's no different to any other year you've turned up there.
No, not at all. We love to complicate things massively, but anyway, all's well that ends well, let's say. But yeah, they led the track out. I must admit, when I left, I thought that track looks a bit fast. I thought that track looks a bit fast. The second I put my car down for first practice, with all the turbo wound up on it, and couldn't literally go more than a quarter throttle anywhere, I reminded myself why we love coming to Mendip, because you've got to slow down and actually drive round instead of going flat out everywhere. So, yeah, I think that was possibly one of the most challenging layouts we've had.
Yeah.
But, as ever, when you got it right and you could get the car handling, which after 5 qualifying runs, 4 practices, and 2 finals, for the last leg of the A final, I actually got the car nailed, and I
Perfect.
every setup on my TLR 22 3.0. The car went from hard shock absorbers to soft shock absorbers. I went through the full. I've never seen so much shock oil in my life. My table was well lubed. Let's put it like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a big dead patch of grass.
Yeah, well, I couldn't possibly say that that's where the oil went. But, yeah, I started slipping about after a while on my feet. I mean, we ended up. I say we, the royal we being Lee Fraser. I should really thank Lee Fraser for this. He just said, "Give me your car. I'm going to put a setup on it." And I went because I had 2 brilliant runs in the first 2 rounds, which put me straight in the A final, as you'll know, Matthew.
yes, I do. Yeah.
I think I had a second in round 1 and a third in round 2, and you got
no. I had third in round 2.
You had third in round 2. Oh, I had fourth then because I had 6 points, and then it rapidly went downhill from there.
Yeah, it did for me as well. I never got better after that second run. That was it. I peaked at that point.
I never improved after the first run. Every time I went over the line, it went boop. I went, no, it must be improving. I'm not made a mistake. What's going on? Anyway, yeah. So anyway, car ended up really good for the last final, and it was all down to the tyres, as I might have proclaimed at the time.
I've heard it once or twice. Yeah.
Yeah, we seem to be running mini darts because somebody from down there sort of said that darts were the thing to be on, and it turned out on my particular car that I'd have been better on ballistic whites.
So you won the last leg then?
I didn't win the last leg, but I did come 4th.
Okay.
So I came behind Gav.
Okay.
Who else was in there?
Mark Hancock and was Lawson. Was Lawson? No,
Lawson I beat Lawson in the last leg. It's the only. He actually came from 7th to get 3rd overall. Third overall. So it's the first time he's beat me all year, and boy, did he make sure I knew about it.
Yeah.
All the way home.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
But yeah, the club put a great meeting on. Rob Painter. I tell you what, that man. I mean, we've had some really good race controllers down at Mendip, but he was brilliant. I mean, We've instigated this new marshalling regime, which does seem to slow the heats down, the changeover a little bit, but it's absolutely 90% safe because we stop people wandering across the track when cars are going round.
Yeah,
he controlled that absolutely perfectly, and even better, the guys who were racing actually listened, which is
Yeah, but you've got to remember as well. I mean, the year before when Wayne was doing, nobody knew Wayne. No. And I think, in as much as that hindered him, it kind of helped him as well because, it was a new voice. It was people you didn't know what his reaction was going to be, and I think most people kind of did it. With Rob's run a lot of meetings. He used to run
you could tell
that. And they've had over 100 drivers turn up for one of their meetings in a tiny little indoor club because Rob does put on a good show behind race control. He's very good at commentating. He's done it for a long time. And even when I was trying to be a bit cheeky with him and getting an extra half a lap on the warm-up
he
lap.
stopped everybody doing that, didn't he?
He did.
I must say, I must put a bit of a shout out for my good friend Neil Badess from Bury, who does sort of run the RC timing bit for me behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So Neil had prepared all the heats, made sure that Guppy was in heat 3 or something, nowhere near me.
Yeah, he did say that. He did say that. And
always make sure Mark Christopher and Lee Stokes same heat together.
From the away from me,
and away from you. Look, Neil does. He does his bit, and he helps me out with the championship table. So
hang on.
Good guy.
Why was I in heat 3 then? Why wasn't I in heat 1?
Why wasn't he in heat 1?
Yeah.
Why should you?
Sorry, Heat 5.
Heat 5. I don't really know. It'll have done it.
Yeah, I know.
It does it on championship order first, and then slots in the really good drives. It must have been an oversight on my part.
No, it wasn't. He actually said after he booked everyone in and did the heats. Yeah. I went up to pick my number up, and he goes, "Oh, I put Gups in with you, Heat 3. You mentioned it the other week that you wanted to be in the same heat, so I've done that."
There you go. Well, there you go. Nothing to do with me then. That's good. Gets me off the hook.
That was Bird. He did that. Yeah, he did sort those things out. Rob Painter was great.
Thanks, Bird.
To be fair, Mo, Matt, you were running at the front of your heat pretty much every run, and it was just like cars jumping out the way, wasn't it? It was like, Lewis Hamilton lapping drivers at Monaco. Maybe not Monaco. Maybe that's a bad example.
Bad example there, yeah.
Do you know what? I knew I could put in some good laps. I knew I needed just a bit of clear space to kind of make me feel a bit more settled on the track. I don't like going wheel to wheel. I like. Some people say I don't like being a lap ahead. No, I like being a lap ahead. That's absolutely fine with me. I'll do my fighting in the finals, but if I'm that far ahead of everybody in a heat I've been put in, they move out your way because they just know you're coming through.
Yeah. Trust me, the heat I was in with some very competitive people, even though it's an UFO meeting, because I got wiped out at one point by one of our little team. I'm like, right, okay, but we were just all in a train going round, and you only have to you only have to get it sort of slightly wrong, and you were off on the outskirts of the track, understeering on the sand that was coming out, and
trying to get your power down and.
Well, you thought you were out of it, but what you didn't realise was everybody else was having the same issues.
Yeah.
So sometimes you felt you weren't on the best run, but you were actually on a semi-decent run. You know. But that's that particular track, and we had a new winner overall of the A final two-wheel drive, which was Gav Crawler.
Yeah.
With the Serpent car, Gav's been supporting us a couple of years, and I mean Gav. As Aidan will tell you, I mean, it's the fastest car on earth. There's literally flames coming out the back wheels on that car. He just tends to throw it off the track quite a bit. But when he hooks it together, if he can hook 5 minutes together, I don't think there's many people to beat him. To be honest with you,
yeah,
he's a good driver. He just drives it at 110% all the time, and he either gets away with it or he doesn't. And he did get,
Yeah.
So, was good, and dear old Mr. Harris Senior, as I like to call him now.
Nice.
Old Craig.
He's been on tonight. He came on before you.
Oh, has he? Oh God, right, okay. He's a good lad, Craig. He does like.
Oh, that changed, yeah.
No. He knows I take the mick out of him. He's going greyer than I am. I have no hair. So.
Yeah. Did you know Craig? Did you know Craig Harris's mum was a world champion offshore powerboat racer?
I didn't know that.
There we go.
No,
that's who's on next week.
The only thing I know about Craig Harris is he used to have the same type of dog we've got.
Okay.
and we used to bump into him at the Nationals in years gone by, and he was always one of the people that actually talked to us at the Nationals.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
So we got on with Craig pretty well. We didn't see much of him, but I mean, he walked away with the 4-wheel drive finals a little bit. He had two really good runs. Good to see Chris Mills there. I haven't seen Chris in years.
Yeah.
And Chris seemed to be having a good run. Another associated car, wasn't it? That one, I think.
It was.
Dubious shade of purple, but there you go.
Yeah, it was a bit weird, that one.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who came third. I think it was Mark Hancock, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, Chris came third and Mark came second, and Craig won it. And then in the obviously in the stadium trucks, Martin Owen had Kev Lee's PR machine there and basically won every heat he entered.
Yeah, that was it. And there was obviously the bet between James.
That was gone, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, James Boyland and Martin had a little bit of a bet before. That's where Martin got his breakfast from. On the what was it, on the Sunday morning, wasn't it? He got him a massive plate full of breakfast for that. I think.
James Boylan came up to me and goes, I know it's cost me the breakfast, but I've just gone on board the biggest breakfast. Wait till you see whether Martin Owen can't eat that.
What?
And then, yeah. I'm like, he's a big unit. But then 20 minutes later, Martin Owen came around and went, did you see the breakfast? Here's the breakfast James bought me. I didn't eat from 8 o'clock last night. I didn't have any breakfast at all. I knew he was going to do this. I knew he was going to buy me, and I've just eaten every single bit of it.
Yeah, I don't think Martin's shy at eating.
I don't
a bit like myself, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to turn down a big breakfast. You know, a big belly buster. It's part and parcel, isn't it?
Well, between you two now, surely Damo will be looking forward to Gups dropping into his normal final for Bury.
Oh, well, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, do you know what? I targeted. I was surprised. I think I got away with 2 very clean, consistent first runs.
Yeah.
I mean, there was nobody more amazed. I can tell you that much. I just literally, I felt like I was driving Miss Daisy. I literally just drove around the middle of the track and lapped Lawson, and I just couldn't believe what was happening. So I thought, must be on for a decent run here. And you know, it's just one of them. Innit? We'll go to Bury, and there's a lot of quick lads going to turn up to Bury. I've just been doing the booking in. So you've got people like Ben Jemison back. You've got Andy Woods. Looks like he's put an entry in.
Perry.
No, Perry hasn't put an entry in. I don't think. No.
Is Evo doing Bury?
Yeah. Chris Everson's there. Tony Parr's there. Let's have a look. So you've got that automatically pushes me towards the outer edges of the A final, if not probably my usual position of pole in the B.
Do you know what? I'd be more than happy with the B with the field that you've just said there, and probably some of the other local lads that are going to be there. I'd be more than happy with a place in the B.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think if I got a B final, it'd be if I got B final, it'd be good. I'd be pleased as punch to get on the A, but we'll see.
See how it goes
I'll do everything I can to get in the same final as you.
Oh yeah. Well, never saw each other though, did we? In the finals, really?
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
did you? You sort of caught up to me at one. Come on,
when I caught the I caught you up.
Hang on, Damo first, then Gups. Go on.
Was it round? I think it was leg 1, and you got onto the back of it and then disappeared. I don't know where you went. You were there for about 2 laps. And I thought, ooh, he's putting a bit of pressure on it. Oh, where's he gone?
Well, we've got video proof. I think we did get.
Check the videos out. You'll be able to make your own minds up on that. For anybody that is listening,
did that Associated B6 that's probably done 3,000 laps around that track ever get in front of the blue and black and white TLR 22? Did it?
Yeah, it did.
It did when I was lapping you.
No, nobody lapped me in the final apart from Gav and Mark. That was it. Nobody lapped me in that final apart from those 2.
It was one of the things I was looking at the final was whether Gups got in front of Damo.
And did he?
No.
There you go.
Damn you. No, well done, mate. You did drive very, very well. That was an incredibly tricky track, and I hands down, give it to you. Yeah, you outdrove me on the day on my home track.
Mate, it was. Do you know what? It was just literally Lee Fraser putting a better setup on than I could put on it. That was basically what it was. And honestly, the tyre change on the last one, we just thought I'd had 2 fifths from 0.5, so I'd gone neither forwards nor backwards.
Yeah.
And I just thought, well, let's just go and put some silly tyres on it and see what happens. Oh, good grief! It was so much easier to drive. It just drifted through the corners instead of trying to turn itself inside out.
It's weird. I mean, there's points where if you put whites on that track, it just you're just not gonna. It's not gonna happen. They'll be gone in a minute.
Well,
you know.
Yeah, it was. Do you know around the top section on the right hand side where you went up the hill and then down the hill?
Yeah.
That was where it felt the safest now with the ballistics on.
Okay, yeah.
It didn't feel as tippy. When you went round there on the darts, it always felt like it was going to go over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You had
it
to
felt a
hold.
little
You had
bit
to hold
too
your pace
pointy.
around there.
You know, it felt too pointy. But then I think they just handled the bumps better. If I'm being honest, I think that's all it was. They just didn't upset the car as much. So I need to write the setup down. Get to come back next year and forget it all again. Like I did for most of the weekend this weekend. So and we had loads of trucks. It was great to see all loads of trucks out, wasn't it? I loved it. I know you don't particularly go for it, but
hang on. We are more fans of the stadiums than we are of the short course.
Yeah, Damo, I am desperate for a stadium truck, mate.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Do you know what? There's only, sad to say, there are now only 2 booked in for Bury.
I would love to have a go with it. If anybody's got a T5M, they will lend me for Bury in a couple of weeks. Please let me know.
Yeah. I mean, we might end up with the numbers that there are. Might just be one big mash-up with everybody in the same heat.
Yeah,
I actually preferred it because because there's such a lot of competition between me, Jim Dixon, and Neil Podesta.
Yeah,
we all drove as cleanly as we could, and we wanted to get through the traffic without getting punted off or particularly getting tangled with anybody. So it really worked really well. But I've just got to say that Neil Podesta's face on the last lap of the last leg of the short course final. It was a picture when I went zooming past him. You know the back section where you came to the tree stump?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where sometimes, if you were really lucky, you could straight line it.
Yeah.
I went flat out round the end of the straight and kept it pinned and thought it's either going to break the car, the tree stump, but to some miraculous way of doing things, it actually went through the gap, got round the corner, and just pulled a load of gap on Birdie. So it was brilliant. I loved it. It was ace. It was ace. So that all happened, and then of course as we're packing up, we've got to touch on it, haven't we? Young Oliver Natras's car gets nicked.
Yeah, I did right at the very, very start of the podcast. I did sort of say, look, it's the. Let's kind of get it out the way of what happened, and his car went. But like I said at the very beginning, mate, the one thing I've walked away from that meeting with is knowing that how united everybody was instantly within 24 hours. That kid had everything replaced.
Yeah. No, it was a good effort by the people on the BBT page and the people on Oople and just general people on Facebook. I think the biggest headache was for me and somewhat you in trying to coordinate it all, but we pretty much had it done by Monday evening, which I was amazed at. So I don't know if you know, but he actually won the last leg of the E-final four-wheel drive.
Yeah, he drove.
So,
do you know what?
Unfortunately, you don't get a trophy to that. So Alex, my wife, has made him a certificate at work. And we've sent him a certificate with some stickers and maybe a little T-shirt just to cheer him up.
Nice. Yeah, that's a nice touch. So,
apart from the fact I forgot all the trophies for everybody else, we'll just leave it at that, shall we?
Yeah.
Well, we weren't too bothered because none of us won a trophy, and I knew as soon as I got into that A final, I kind of went, "Well, I'm not going to win a trophy this time."
Oh, did you not dream? Did you not dream, Guppy, at the start of it? Thinking,
no. Do you know what?
Only.
Do you know what? I do believe if I'd managed some of the runs that I'd had in the qualifiers. If I'd managed to get anywhere near those, and I wasn't, none of those finals were anywhere near as quick as the qualifying. It just wasn't the same. I think I had as good a chance of a podium as anybody did in that A final. I think anybody out of maybe the top 5 could have won, given the right circumstances.
Right, okay. Discount me from that because there's no way. Not
on 3 legs. I don't think. I think the top 2 were just gone all day.
Steve Lawson came from 7th, didn't he, to get 3rd overall? So
it's only a crash.
Steve Lawson did me on every start. Every start, he was the car behind me, and he managed to get up the inside of me on every start because I was trying my best not to run into the back of Richard Coates.
Yeah.
Every time, I thought I'll just hold off, and Lawson just barges through.
Do you know what? Out of the 3 legs, though, I think there was only one where there was a coming together of any cars before the tree stump. I think we got round 3 or 4 corners before anybody started to come together. I was quite blown away by that, really, because everybody was moving quick through there. Yeah.
No, I'd agree. I mean, I must admit, I made it through, even though I dropped back a couple of places in some. In the first one and the second one, made it through the tree stump section actually unscathed. You got everyone sort of tries to respect each other, but they're going fast, aren't they? The cars, and it was a tricky track, so it's one of them, isn't it? It's one of them.
It is.
But all good. I can't fault the meeting. It was brilliant. I think we had 113 entries. We give 24 prizes out from the sponsors.
Yeah. I think we shared all of those, I think.
Yeah,
Well, hang on, let's go back to the raffle as well, because I was stood by. It's a momentous occasion that the first time we've had 2 Serpent drivers stood together at a race meeting, and Gav Crawler won a low centre of gravity shorty lipo.
He did, an Absema one.
And I've seen one. I went, I was going to buy one of them this week. I was going to give them a go. Awesome. Oh, that's ace. And then, 5 draws later, he wins another prize, and he's got this, and he goes, I thought it was just like a tool case, but it's a tool case full of tools.
Oh yeah, that fast track, the fast track tool case, which CML have given us one for every meeting.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a real piece of kit. It's got everything in it. Everything. It only looks a little thing, but it's got everything you'd ever need in there. It really has. It's they're not all mugs and key rings.
No. But everyone loves a raffle. Everyone loves the prizes.
What was in the Mike Parker's special magic bag?
His magic bag. I don't know. He puts it together on the day. I have no idea what he puts in there.
There was definitely some beer.
It's all sealed up when I get it. I just know he always says, "It has to be for an adult." That's all he says to me. So I go, all right. So we have to. So when I'm pulling the numbers out, we have to. So if I pull a number out and it's an adult that I really want to stitch up, was it Chris Hinks this time or Dave Manson?
What's
the other?
Yeah, Chris Hinks. It was.
And then I pulled the number out and I went, Alex, just give him the Mike Parker package. And that's how we do the Mike Parker prize. So if you win the raffle and you know me, and I know that you're pretty much good for a laugh, you'll probably end up with the Mike Parker prize.
Right, so if I win any raffle at Opel from now on, it's Mike Parker's prize.
Well, assuming I've not given it to somebody else.
Right.
Beforehand,
like Aidan. Or, it blows my mind, does the raffle. I get really confused doing it. And how many times have I done it now?
Yeah.
It balls up with me bits of paper. Oh, my God. Yeah. I have to have 3 helpers on the rostrum doing it with me. I don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah, we have.
It just, honestly, it's a logistical nightmare.
Trying to give 24 things away.
Which prizes you can throw down, which ones you've got to take down the stairs.
We try and do it as it is very random. We literally pick a ping pong ball out with the driver's number on, and then we pick a prize number out because it's a race number. But you'd be surprised how many times me and Stu can cock that up.
Yeah.
And then we sometimes forget to put the ping pong balls back in the bag. Which is probably, anyway, so there you go.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, the Gambling Commission will be looking into this.
There's no money involved. There's no betting going on. It's absolutely kosher. So, roll on Bury. Round 5. It's all over in like 3 weeks time.
Yeah, it is. I wish I'd done Brock's though. I really do. I would love those points to account with this year.
Yeah. I mean, we've got Bury Opel in 3. Is it 3 weeks after? 1, 2, 3. 3 weeks time, and then we've got the International 2 weeks afterwards.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
Yeah, not like keeping me busy.
That's like I said last time. That's first international for me. So,
oh yes, you are. You're coming up, aren't you? Yeah. So yeah. You'll enjoy it. Yeah, I'm sure you will enjoy it. You're going to get yourself into more people starting to ask about the endurance bit now, which is quite interesting. Starting to get a few more people looking at that now. So I think what we'll do is we'll definitely make some teams up on the day.
Yeah, I will definitely be up for the endurance one.
Yeah,
what's the sort of format for that? Is it just?
This is the brainchild of Stuart Evans, so it could be anything.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
But the in fact, James Helliwell was on our little messenger page the other day saying, "Are there any rules for this endurance?" And I just no, and then you sort of came up with some rules. I think you've got to run a 2-wheel drive car. There's always got to be a marshal from each team out on the track.
Yeah.
It's going to run for 3 hours. We might stop it halfway through to make people drink beer. I don't know. I haven't really thought much further than that. If I can involve some gherkins along the way, it'll be even more interesting.
Yeah. A few pickled onions.
Yeah, pickled eggs. Neil Cragg likes a pickled egg, but he's not going up. Well, he's not booked in yet.
He should.
He usually ring me the day before and go, "Do you think there's any room for?" Yeah. Okay.
Like you're going to say no.
Sure, we can squeeze him in. Still got Mr. Orlowski coming. So yeah, the meeting's full. It's been full for weeks.
It has. Yeah.
It's been full with paid up reserves. So
has it? Jesus.
I feel really sorry for the paid up reserves because nobody is backing out of the meeting that they've told me about.
No, I don't know.
If you're listening to this and you're backing out of the meeting, please tell me because we need to know, basically.
Well, I mean, I've got Rob and Mark Hancock coming up with me, and Chris Busby's coming up as well for it this year.
Good. So
we've got a few. I'm starting to drag them out from the southwest.
Yeah, I know it's a bit of a trek up there, but it is the probably the
best event of the year.
Yeah, it's got some entertainment factor. Let's put it like that. We struggled topping it. Do you know what? That's the problem. I think I don't know. Is it 7 or 8 years? I can't remember. And we are struggling to top things. That's why we've mixed it up with the endurance race because we fancied just doing something different just for us, or else it all gets a bit samey if you're not careful.
Do you not find that people almost find it like a tradition with things like the beer race and stuff like that with the Invernation?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, we're not really doing we're not doing the beer race this year. I sort of I ran out of food penalties to give people. To be honest with you, I keep finding stuff when I'm abroad on holiday, but Alex won't let me bring it back in my suitcase.
Right. Okay.
We just fancied a change, and we've just got to mix it up a little bit. So this year we've got the endurance race, which is different, and this year we've got I think 2 bands on. We've got a warm up, a guy who's going to do warm up and a full on band. Yeah. So we've had a DJ before in the previous years, and we just decided to mix it up a little bit. Hey, we've got more bouncy castles this year because the kids wanted more bouncy castles.
Damn, I want bouncy castles. That's awesome.
I think you might just be over the height limit, to be honest with you.
Joke.
You can go on if you take your shirt off. Don't be sick on it either. They don't like that. We did a survey. You probably won't know this, Matt, but for the first time, thanks to my IT guru Danny James, we did a full-on questionnaire, emailed questionnaire, survey monkey thing to all the people who attended last year, and we got some really good feedback off them. So we've basically listened to their feedback.
Okay.
And we are catering to what they asked us for. So if it's different this year, it is really down to feedback from. I think Danny said he couldn't believe it. I mean, Danny works in sort of websites and IT, and he usually gets a 5% response rate to his surveys. He got I think it was some ridiculous amount, like 78 or 80% response rate.
Wow, that's good.
People.
That is
it
good.
took us ages to collate it all, but once we had it, we had good data, So
Yeah.
we'll definitely be doing that again this year. Definitely doing that again.
Excellent.
Because it's worked really, really well, and people tell us that we do get some strange. I'd have to dig it. That would be a podcast all on itself.
Yeah, we'll have that.
What people actually said on that survey.
Yeah, anonymously, I think, but that would be good.
But well, it is funny what some of them say. It really is.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that when you were at Southport one day, and I think you just got all the responses in.
Yeah. And
I don't think you were as positive there.
Yeah. People have some strange. Notions about what we're actually capable of doing.
Yeah.
You
want all lousy to attend.
Rapidly looking for it, but I can't just find. I don't think I've got it on a spreadsheet. So.
No.
Definitely another one. Definitely one for another podcast. Yeah. It's a bit like them people who claim on insurance companies. It were one of them, but. Most of it was positive. Let's put it that way.
That's great. So we're all sorted for Bury. Is it only 2 weeks away?
Yeah.
It's this weekend, next weekend, then we're at Bury.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, this weekend there's a national on somewhere, isn't there? Is it Bolton?
Bolton.
Then we've got Northwest Nitro Regional.
Right. Yes.
Blackpool.
How's the planning for the Northwest Nitro Regional going?
It's going really well. It's a very fluid situation.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring my binoculars.
It's pretty big. It's pretty big.
You want to? I know this won't go down well with anybody in the Northwest, but you really should just let Lawson sort the track out, because he's quite good at reducing track sizes.
Right.
He takes pride in doing it as well.
But shorten. I thought you just said he cuts the track a lot.
No. No, because we once tried to do a regional at Pendle, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yes.
And I think for some reason I was probably racing in the northeast, so I came down to look at it, and it was just immense, the track, and I think we'd been there a couple of weeks before, me and Stephen with Dave Crompton, to have a look at it, and we just put a little track out with the big bomb hole in the middle. And it was fun. But people get carried away when they've got too much space. They just get carried away with more. I admire ambition, but there's you've got to be realistic. The little cars don't. They don't do well on 8th tracks.
No, they don't.
No, they don't. I remember. Did you go to the one at? No, you did Northeast, so you didn't go to the one at Stoke.
No, I believe you got home 3 days after you went.
Oh, that was classic Northwest region. That let's have 2 votes. Ignore, but both votes were the same. Should we just call it now and go home? And we ignored both votes.
Awesome. That's democracy under Donald Trump, isn't it?
That's excellent. And I'm sitting. Well, I'm going to guess that the people who have qualified really high in their finals, they want to go home, and the people who have qualified really low in their finals, they want to stay and race. And they're like, no. So let people vote. In this case, I just said, well, don't show them the results. Don't show them take the overalls down. And then ask him. Literally, I was asking people, so what number are you? And they go, I'm number 1. I want to go home. Well, there we go. That's the word. But we'll see how we get on with that. I say,
what? It'll probably be fine. As like I say, as long as they don't get too ambitious with the size of the track and they're a bit realistic. I don't think Eddie's going to be there this time, is he?
No, he's at the Euros.
Right. So you in charge then?
Well, I have volunteered myself to ref nearly all the races.
Right. And is Stuart officiating as?
Yeah, Stu Jones is. Yeah. He'll be him and Andy, the fellow from Northwest Nitro, will be running it. That's what happens.
Okay. Well, we'll see what. All you can do is all you can do is pitch in with your ideas. If it looks, if it's a 40-second lap, there's obviously a bit of a problem.
Well, actually, it's about a minute.
Well,
we have got some suggestions regarding cutting.
I did
down.
see you put some up, didn't you? You coloured bits in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because obviously they've got a 25-foot long jump. And I've driven my yoke round it.
Right.
So I've done a bit of, all I did is put it on the straight and go, waz, and it didn't fall over as it drove down the straight.
Yeah.
So it's 3 steps above Stoke and Pendle. And then and then he's got some sort of rollers, which are like 9 foot high. And he's got a big step down tabletop that must be 6 foot. And so it's
like the sort of thing you should be driving in between.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You should be. No, I'm not joking. They've got a massive quad at Pendle, but if you use it to drive in between in the lower bits and then back out the other side and over and drive, you have to drive over the last one instead of jumping it. It's a feature.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But what they do is they think, these 10th cars, because they're so fast in a straight line, they'll easy jump that jump. Yeah, they will, but they just won't land because they've just not got the weight and the shock absorbers in them to cope with the landings.
So coming off their tabletop and their wooden tabletop in their far left-hand corner, 2 drops about 3 foot. However, I spent 5 minutes just trying to get my car off, and every time it landed, it just slipped back onto its roof.
Yeah, so
that will certainly be cut out. And the issue with the main issue with the big 30, 25 foot jump is, for us, there's no run up.
Right.
And also, because they all clear it just about, the middle of it is just like a muddy, oily swamp because they don't drive in it.
I think that's great. I think this will be the best Northwest Regional ever.
We're cutting that out. We're not going to do that big jump. We have really cut the laps out. Their rostrum is so big.
You can tell people from Southport are organising it or being involved in this region. No, there is dirt here. There is dirt here. How dare you suggest we run over this rough ground with our buggies? How dare you?
Yeah. Jump? What are you talking about?
25 feet, you say? You're a madman. Absolutely mad.
People were asking at Mendy. I've seen some pictures of Southport. Does it drive like this? And I'm like, no. See that join? That's as big as our tabletop.
Yeah.
But it's a track in itself, isn't it? Like all of them are. None of them are the same. They've all got their things, and that's what makes it good when you get around and go to the different ones, because you get to see what madness other people are driving on. Yeah.
Do you know what? You can have the greatest actual track, but if someone puts a duff layout down, it can make it.
Yeah. We've had a few of those. So how do you think? I'm just going to quickly talk about how do you think driving standards were?
At Mendy?
Yeah, we've had some good positive feedback. We certainly had a great heat.
Well, like I say, we had a couple of run-ins in my heat, just with one person. But to be fair to the one person, who I'm not going to name, he's only been back in it this year, and he was quick when he was about 7, about 30 years ago. What he just needs to do is just be a bit more patient. But we know he's quick. He's just not. And that will have been the most difficult track he's raced on, ever.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. I did see.
And he was straight in the. He was straight in the top, and he got in the A final. To be fair,
he did.
He qualified 8th. It might have just been one up on guts, maybe. But it wasn't. It was. The driving standards, to answer your question, I found was absolutely fine. Nobody came up to me and complained.
No.
But then I told them to go and complain to Stu, and that's like talking to a brick wall, so there you go.
Yeah.
That's why I have him as the driver's rep.
Oh, right, okay, suit me. Yeah, perfect, isn't he?
Oh, he's brilliant at it. He's great. He's masterclass in driver's etiquette and dealing with drivers.
Yeah.
He just doesn't give a toss.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. No.
She just, you know, he was driving round on a set of bold tyres I'd given him about 3 months ago from us.
Yeah, that was really annoying when he took
And
the
then-
C final win from me, just pottering around. Because worst thing, normally I'm okay because he's driving an RC10. Someone gave him a car that's been out for the last 10 years.
Yeah, sorry. We might have got him a TLR. I don't know where that came from. So yeah, but he won't do all with it. It's got 30-weight shock absorber oil, shock oil in it all round, and the springs it came on.
Yeah,
He's
but
done
that's
no
still...
setup work to that car whatsoever. And all he has done, get this, is super glue a lipo into it.
Okay.
Right.
That's some lipo bag he puts his car in.
Well, it's his old car, so his theory is that if the body shell's on it, it's absolutely fine.
Yeah, it's in a container. But that shows you how bad the other thing was. If this bog standard 22, but is clearly the best car he's had for, you know.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can't
well,
pressurise him. You can't bully him. His lines were great. I either led away and he never caught me, or I couldn't catch him.
no, Stu on the quiet is a good driver, just doesn't actually practice enough or is interested enough these days. He loves the social side of it. He helps me. Well, we both do the Oople thing, obviously. But Stu will just rock up to the Oople meetings, throw his car on the track, and it will go around.
Yeah.
And he wins the C finals. So there you go. You know, what more do you want? He was happy with it. You know, Alex took him his trophy today at work, and he's probably pride of place on his desk.
Oh, that's lovely.
You know, I'm hoping he's not throwing it in the bin.
Well, if he threatens to do that, tell him he can post it to me.
No, he won't do. He won't. Alex said, I've got a surprise for you. At which point, Stuart's eyes lit up apparently.
Nice.
And then she produced a piece of wood with a sticker on it.
Yeah.
There you go. We can't have everything, can we?
No, we haven't got one of those. So you racing this Sunday, or you?
Weekend off for me, mate. I've got
Northwest Nitro.
I've got Bury Oople. I've then got the Iconic Revival. Then I've got the International. Then I've got the Vets at Broxtor. Then I've got the Ulverston Regional. So I thought I might take this weekend off.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weekends on the trot.
Yeah, of all big events.
But hey, bonus of bonus. I know you probably want to go, but Friday morning I'm waiting for Steve Lawson to turn up to pick. And somebody on Iconic RC puts a massive stash of lossy XX4 spares on there.
Right.
For not a lot of money, and I couldn't get my hands into the PayPal account quick enough. And it's turned up as this stuff. Turned up to my mother-in-law and father-in-law's. I've been to pick it up tonight, which is why I was panicking about what time you were ringing me.
Oh, okay.
I could probably build about 3 cars.
Oh, nice.
Jesus.
It's just unbelievable, the amount of stuff. And there's brand new sets of ballistic tyres in there.
What?
There's just loads of... I've got a full set of whites, full set of greens. There's some yellow mini pin 2s, cut staggers. Awesome. Not often I get a bargain, but this is it. This is my yearly bargain. So
Nice.
So yeah, I'll be turning up to the Iconic Revival with more stuff than I carry for my modern cars.
Well, that's good. I know you enjoyed it when you went to Dudley.
Oh, that was a good meeting indoors. Lee Fraser said that's the best meeting he's ever been to.
Really?
Yeah, but he's a bit odd like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say he probably just listens to me at the track and then realises he's just going to do classes that I don't do.
maybe.
Yeah.
I've got to give. I think there was a guy called James Williams racing this weekend with his Lossy XX, and it just looked really good going round. A blue one.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, spoke to that guy.
Yeah.
Very agricultural beard.
Yes, he did. He had a good beard. Beard on him.
Great beard. And I think he ran a few of the cars.
Oh right, okay. I was marshalling his heat, and it was his Lossy XX, and it just did what Lossy XXs do. which was
Right.
great. That track, which was handle the bumps and understeer.
Yeah, perfect.
Because my car, I don't know about anybody else's, I couldn't possibly dial any more steering out of it, and it still was a very steery mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a way. I was understeering on some bits. I was oversteering on some bits. It was, and then the next time we went out on the bits I was understeering on, I was oversteering on, and
It did change a bit, did the track, didn't it? But you said it was going to. You did say it was going to. So no.
When the International finishes, literally as you get home, how many messages are going to be off me going, where are we going next year for Rupel? Where are we going next year for Rupel? Where are we going next year for Rupel?
Yeah, well, I don't know. We were discussing this on the way back and the way down to Mendip, the way back from Mendip. We obviously went to look at Swindon, which I quite enjoyed driving round, I must admit. And apart from a couple of facilities, which could probably be very easily overcome, to be fair. Could be a potential track. I got to grips with it really quickly. It was the regional out from the week before, but you didn't run on that, did you, Matt?
No, I didn't know.
So they didn't have the crossover.
Yeah.
Which I think could be tricky for marshals.
It's really not,
Is it not?
No, it works so well.
Oh, well,
credit where it's due, that crossover's great.
Right, because sometimes you end up having to shove a brush under it if the kids crash underneath it, and you end up, if someone crashes under the bridge, for want of a better word, because they put the thing down on the top, don't they?
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if someone crashes underneath it, you've got to sort of get at it, haven't you? And then you're sort of ducking under with cars flying at your head. So I got my health and safety hat on with that one.
Right, okay.
But the jumps, well, certainly with the four-wheel drive, I didn't try the two-wheel drive, but the four-wheel drive, the jumps were very well built, I've got to say. It ran well. We've had another club ask us as well. They're from down your way as well.
Yeah, I think they're Gloucester or something.
Gloucester, yeah.
I sent him a message when he put on Oopal, and I went, "Yeah, mate, you're gonna have to speak to Damo, and I'm sure the questions you'll be asking are, how long your lap is, can we camp, where's the pub,
Yeah.
Have you ever done this before?"
It was the bit where he said it's both an 8th and a 10th club. So I said, he's running live RC timing with an RC4 loop, which doesn't really help us because some people run the MRTs on RC3. But, I mean, we have a decoder. But, yeah, I just sent something back saying, is it possible for you to send me a video of a 10th buggy going around the typical track so we can gauge the size? I haven't had a response to that, so... And
again, I don't want to blow Mendip's, trumpet, but it's a nice spec, Mendip. All hell could break loose at Mendip, and no one would ever know.
What do you mean within the track?
Yeah, well, not just the track, in the entire area. It's cut off. It's down. It's down a little lane. It's a nice spec for people to camp in. It's a nice spec for people to pit in.
Oh yeah, no, the thing with Mendip is, ever since they came on board, we've had we do have very good support. It's one of the best supported rounds. We're not discounting Mendip. We're not discounting anyone really. We just, I'll be honest with you, we haven't even thought about it that much. We've had a chat about it.
Good.
We looked at. We haven't even asked them yet, but we were looking at Oswestry. Nice little Astro track, plenty of camping, loads of hotels nearby, plenty of pubs nearby.
Could be interesting.
There was a video, I think Kev Lee might have put a video up recently of their regional, and they were doing 24, 25 second laps. I thought it was a smaller track than that, but But yeah, 24, 25 second laps, absolutely by me.
Well, Yeah, they're suppose they're the guys who turn up to Southport indoors. The Oswestry lot, aren't they? A few of them.
Yeah, it's just how much support they actually get in the area. Do you know what I mean? So, when we come to Mendip, we get a lot of Mendip, or a lot of the Southwest guys do support that event. And, we haven't really touched on it at all, but what was a little bit disappointing for me about Teesside, apart from the weather, which we can't control, was that we didn't get an awful lot of support from the people up in Teesside, which I was a little bit irked about.
Okay.
And no disrespect to Cash or Peter Craig, who ran the meeting. Cash did his best, Peter did his best. We actually turned out to be a really good grass meeting for us who like racing on grass.
Yeah.
We loved it. But we didn't get the support. And, there's no point putting meetings on if people aren't going to support us, because it's a bit pointless.
Yeah.
But I think I'd never thought of Oswestry, but it's not that far from Southport and Bury.
No. The other one we will be testing out very soon is Ulverston, because how I like a track in the north.
Oh my word! Yeah.
If we go looking at what Paul Westwood.
Yeah, Paul Westwell.
Sorry, we call him Westward. We call
Westward. I'm going to call him that from now on. Yeah.
So Paul's put a lot of effort into that, and it's in its early days, and they're the sort of clubs we sort of want to help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the whole point of Oupel, really.
And I think it's definitely been a massive, massive help for Mendip over the years.
Yeah, well, there's another set of steps there now, isn't there?
Yeah, and an extra lane.
That's what anybody always does when we go to a club. We always go back the year after, and there's another set of steps on the roster.
Yeah.
Well, we did we put the extra lane in as well.
Yes, you did. And there was a bit of an extension, wasn't there, 1 year at the end of the track?
Drainage went.
That was one thing. I'm going to have to change where the Oupel lot actually pit, because we just seem to be a target for every car that comes off. We ended up having to double reinforce the fence. Alex get a little bit concerned she was going to get clouted in the head by a car.
Well, why don't you, when you're at Mendip, why don't you come and pit in the pits that are already... Save yourself dragging all your tents, all your tables, all your chairs. Just come and pit in the pits with everyone.
Could do that, couldn't we?
Why not?
Don't know if people would put up with us that much.
Yeah, it'd be great.
We have got Northy there.
Yeah, they put up with us, mate. We did get a few strange looks.
Yeah.
Because we talked about not marrying our cousins, and electricity and things along those lines. And they do, and they all sound exactly the same to us.
Yeah.
You know.
We say that about people in Liverpool.
Well, you're wrong, clearly.
See, the thing is,
sound completely different.
The people down here don't know that you two are from anywhere different.
Oh, dear me. I've called Australian before when I've been in them.
I can get that. I think what you could do to sort your pitting issues out is you just send Mark Christopher a message and go, "Oh, mate, I know you like pitting close to the track.
You want to be a bit nearer?"
Yeah. Let's put Mark Christopher there.
Yeah. You know what? That is absolutely the solution. We'll put him next to the track and we'll go around the corner. The reason we like to be right next to the track is so we can see what's going on, and if there's any missing marshals, I can start rousing the troops to go wandering off. But to be fair, Martin Owen did a lot of marshalling. And actually, do you know what? I think it was a final two-wheel drive. God bless them. There were only 3 cars in the 4-wheel drive E-final, and 7 of them stayed out and marshalled every single leg twice.
Yeah,
they did. Yeah,
they were
I saw that.
Good set, and none of them made a muffle about having to do it either.
No, why on earth would we?
They were good. They were good chaps.
That the little kid in that final. I like the way that at the end of the last final, the X-Ray that was racing with him literally couldn't have done anything other than drive into that fence at the end.
No, I know. Well, they were actually catching him, weren't they?
Yeah.
Anyway, he was on him anyway. It was quite funny. It's a shame the guy who won disappeared. We've got a trophy here. We know who he is, but we don't know where he lives.
Oh, yeah, he said give that to me.
Did he?
He
What,
did.
E-Final 4-wheel drive?
Yeah, you know how much I'm a massive 4-wheel drive fan.
Yeah. Find you a 2-wheel drive sticker to put on it.
Yeah, that'd be great if you could do that. Thanks very much. No one will know.
See, I think Damon.
Because you're so desperate to win an Opel trophy.
I've never won one. Excuse me. I've lost out on 2 Opel trophies on countback.
Wait till you see the international ones.
Oh, I can't come, mate. You know,
mate, you are going to be. Have you ever seen the international ones at all?
Damo,
yeah.
You make sure I win an international trophy.
Have you seen the metal sculptured trophies that we have for the international? Well, this year we've got first, second, and third for every final.
Ah, nice.
So that's a exclusive for you.
Nice. That's
perfect.
awesome.
And then the other bit, what you were saying regarding looking at Ulverston as, you know, as you've looked at other tracks as well, I like to think that just puts a lot of pressure on them for their regional in a few weeks' time. So all the Ulverston, Barrow, Hawcote, whatever the hell you call yourselves this week, guys, you know, Simon and Paul and Ethan Spedding and all those guys, we'll be marking you. I'll walk around with a clipboard.
Not until the 20th of August, is it?
No, it's right at the end, isn't it?
Right at the end, so...
Well, hang on, the F2s, 3s, or sorry, not F2, is it F2s, 3s, or is it just F3s, 4s and 5s now? That's September, isn't it, that one?
Yes.
Yeah, weirdly, the vets and the juniors is the weekend before but it all goes on last year's results.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Results.
Also, there was some feedback came from the other year when they had the juniors and vets on a day. You know, they finished on a Sunday and then the kids were back in school on a Monday.
Mm.
Well, they'll be like that this year.
No, I thought they brought them far enough forward.
What? You mean into school holidays?
Into school holidays.
Oh, right. Oh,
so because we go on the other year and it's juniors and vets, it's age related, not ability related. You know, they can actually have it during the summer when the kids are off.
All I know is I'm going to know the A1 intimately because the weekend before the International, I'm going down the A1 to Grantham, going home. And then on the Opel International weekend, I'm going down the A1 to Blythe and then back home. And then the weekend after, I'm going down the A1 again to Broxtowe.
Oh, it's Broxtowe, isn't it? Yeah.
So I'm gonna know that. I'm gonna know it intimately. The A1.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's brilliant. Right. Gups is going to shout at me in about 10 seconds, but Demo, we're going to have to let you go. It's 11 o'clock here.
Yeah. I've got to be up at 6.
All right.
I'm doing some charity work tomorrow.
Okay, what are you doing?
Part of the company part of working for the company that I work for, I've got to give a day every year for charity.
Okay. So
I'm going to a National Trust house in the Midlands to plant some trees.
Very nice.
That's ace. How about next year?
I can't believe you're not laughing.
No, that's a very responsible corporate responsibility issue.
Yeah.
But next year, why don't you come to Southport and paint the track?
Yeah, I don't think it really qualifies, mate.
I'll write a letter and say it does.
Yeah,
get a bit of practice in.
It'd be a lot easier, wouldn't it? But, so
please make sure there's loads of pictures.
If I haven't been up and down the M6 enough this week, I'm going back down it tomorrow.
That's ace. So thanks very much for your time.
Yeah, no worries.
We really enjoyed it. We had 2.5. We've got 2 other people to come on, but we'll let you go. Thanks very much, Damo, and I will see you at Northwest Night Show probably.
Yeah.
Take
Cheers,
care, buddy.
guys.
Thanks,
Thank
Damo.
Bye.
Take it easy, mate.
Bye.
Well, I think that is Damo gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
Well, there you go.
He still shows up on our phones for a bit, but I think he's gone.
Yeah. There you go. That was a bit of a longer catch-up than I thought we were going to do this evening, but still very, very good to hear from Damo. And, again, thanks to the Opel crew for the meeting last weekend. great show from those lot as usual, and that is, you know, not just Damo, but Alex and Graham and Danny and Stu and
Lee,
Lawson and all of the crew do a great job together. So thanks very much, guys.
Cheers, boss. So that was good. We had other people to get on, but I just don't think we're going to get them now.
I really don't, mate. It's gone 11 o'clock.
I think everyone will be in bed. So we'll probably have to make a move to go to bed. So that was good. Was there anything else we wanted to go through?
Oh, mate, yeah, of course. Loads of stuff I want to go through. But, you know, I think we could probably do with pretty much wrapping things up. I think we've been on for a fair old while with Damo. Obviously, we wanted to get a couple more people on tonight, but this has gone on far longer than me or you thought it was going to.
Yeah, we really wanted to get John and Dan on to chat about their Mendip experience, but we will get them on again. And it's been great. One thing I do want to talk about, mention before we go, is that because then I don't need to do anything, which has been the real theme of this podcast. If Aidan does nothing, everything sorts themselves out perfectly well. Is that Chris Streams has sorted out the BBT stickers.
Excellent.
So if you're needing any BBT, if you're listening to this and you're not in the group, the Facebook group, you know, on the page, the thing that says here's a Facebook group, join that. The BBT and RC racing group. If you look for that, you know, we let every RC racer in. People leave, people come back, but we always come there. And Chris, with his designs that stick, have done. Oh, I'll tell you what else. I put a picture on. Is me pit mat.
Yes.
That is an epic BBT pit mat that did me well all the way through Mendip, and that's
Good.
Something else that Chris is doing. So speak to Chris for any of those bits sorted. But no, that's me, mate. That's super. I'm racing at Southport, 10.5 on Sunday.
Good. Are you? Have you got your specialised 10.5 YZ2 ready for the job?
No, in no way is my specialised 10.5 YZ2 ready for the job. In the main job being putting a 10.5 in it.
Yeah.
So I might, next week when we're looking for an update on the 10.5, mine might be, well, no, I just left my mod in and just did that.
I mean, there's Tiverton on down here this weekend for us lot. Yeah, so that will be on. Let's see how the weather plays out, and we'll see what happens there. But like you say, I think it is high time we rounded this one up and said good evening to everybody. Yeah, I think we will catch up with everybody next week.
Yeah, don't forget to like and share the post, as we all did. The coverage we got last week was brilliant. Thanks very much. And thanks for all your work you and said and did. You know, you do all the stuff in the background. I just sort of turn up and look beautiful.
You do, mate. You always look beautiful.
Thank you very much, mate. You're a superstar. Thanks for your time.
And on that, let's get it done. See you soon,
Cheers,
buddy.
mate.
Take care.
Bye.